Coming to you live from the Chamber of Hunter Studios. This is Hunting You. I'm John Schelt.
I'm Keoni Hutton.
And I'm Leslie Reed.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Hunting You podcast. Did I just say podcast?
That was so Boston of you.
Park the car.
Podcast.
We're going to Harvard Yard.
Auto park.
Careful, we don't want to get sued.
By whom? The state of Boston?
That took all of 12 seconds.
Did you say state of Boston?
Oh, please. Boston doesn't consider itself its own
Boston
state.
does consider itself its own state. That is accurate. I hope we're only offending the fine people of Massachusetts the normal amount. Welcome back, everyone, to the Hunting You podcast.
What, like they don't consider Boston their own state, too?
I'm just saying the Yankees suck. That's all I'm saying. I identify with it.
That is something that all of us can get behind, except for New Yorkers. Like, I'm okay with that. That took all of 34 seconds for it to get off the rails. That's good for us, right? Like,
that's pretty good.
I think so.
Good ratio.
I think it's a great ratio. I've missed you guys. Holy like we have been off the air for freaking months, and it has been just absolute chaos in our lives, which has completely prevented us from trying to do really anything podcast related, and really anything in general. We did manage to get together for 4th of July, which is super exciting.
That's
but
fun.
let me back up a little and set the scene for everyone who has, not in the midst of our lives.
Like most of the listeners.
Exactly. So I moved across the country again, and it's super exciting because we are back in Maryland, back where we're building Sanguine Creek Estates, back in that same house, and we are gearing up to do Sanguine Creek Estates again. I'm thrilled. I cannot explain how excited I am to be back here. However, moving across the country is a lot of work. It is very stressful. And the way that we do it is kind of intense all by itself. We did, I forgot the stats already. We moved from California, went down to
27.
So we went from, let me explain how this went. We drove from the San Francisco Bay Area, Fremont, where we were, down to LA, south to LA, in order to go to Disney and Universal and Legoland one more time before we left the coast. And then we drove all the way up the West Coast to the Seattle area to see family, drove east to Whitefish, Montana, to go to Glacier National Park, went down through Yellowstone National Park, went to Denver. We're in Denver for a week seeing family, while Leslie very conveniently flew all the way to Denmark to go see Metallica in concert twice.
It was delightful.
I'm sure, and we're going to get into that here in a minute, but that prevented us from doing the podcast that we wanted to do with all of us together in the same room, because she was on the other side of the planet while John and I were together watching Acolyte, by the way. You missed out.
I know.
But so spent a week there in Denver, and then my wife and I drove in 2 days from Denver to Chesapeake Beach, Maryland, where our house is. That is a 25-hour drive that we did in 2 days.
That's too many.
15 hours the first day, 10 hours the second. It was intense.
That's too.
But we did it. And in the midst of all of that, we were managing significant renovations on the house, because this house just had some intricacies. Quirks is a good word.
That's a good word.
Did not do a good job of meeting our needs as a family. And it's little stuff like the bathroom in the master bedroom was smaller than the bathroom I had on a ship.
Yeah, that's rough.
And that was frustrating. That was frustrating, let me tell you.
No getting around that one.
And then the kitchen was set up just absolutely terrible. There was not enough storage space. And we saw this as an opportunity. Hey, we're not going to be there. We can get started on all this, and it will be mostly done by the time we get there. That was an optimistic vision. So
delusional.
Adorable.
Delusional is what we're looking for.
Adorable.
That too.
Thank you for your support.
Always.
So all of the demo got done, and the plumbing rough-ins got done, the electrical rough-ins got done, the framing got done, and now we're still stuck waiting for permits to get processed by the county so that they can come and do inspections, and then we can keep moving forward. It's July 27th, and we have been stuck for over a month waiting on permits.
Yay, bureaucracy.
Yay, bureaucracy. So my wife and children and I are living in a studio apartment above the garage. All four of us in this studio apartment above the garage. This is the most personal time I have had in months. Doing this podcast right now is the most personal time I have had in months. And I'm choosing to share it with all of you. So before we get into the things we want to talk about, Les, tell us about Denmark. Holy shit.
It was fantastic. I can't wait to go back.
Now, what was the driver to you guys wanting to go see Metallica in Denmark?
Okay, so my husband is a huge Metallica fan.
He's probably in the next room playing guitar right now because that's kind of what he does while we podcast.
Most likely. I love Metallica. I think that they are just amazing. Like, the music is just so cool to listen to. There's so much musicality to it. So Metallica is currently doing their 72 Seasons tour with their newest album release. And we were looking at prices and things to go see them. Well, there's a couple problems with me seeing them in the States. One, I'm highly allergic to marijuana. So pretty much, even at an open air venue, I can't sit through anything.
We've been to Red Rocks with it. It's still pretty rough.
Yeah. I did. The first time we attempted to do Metallica was at the Mile High Stadium.
Oh, damn.
And we were at the very, very top, and I still couldn't get through the openers.
Well, that was your problem. You were at the very top and smoke rises.
Yeah, well, I don't think it would have been any better because it's a bowl, so that it all sinks down to the middle too. Anywho, not great news for me. But with that said, we were also looking at the prices of seeing Metallica in the US. And as the US has this lovely thing where, people can charge as many fees as they want, especially Ticketmaster, we're like, it's really expensive. Well, Metallica has two of their biggest shows are San Francisco, because that's the home base of the band, and Copenhagen, because that is the hometown of Lars, the drummer and one of the founding members of Metallica. So on a whim, Alan's like, why don't I just go see how much it is to see them in Denmark?
Just for fun.
Well, it's a 2-night show, and for both of us to get tickets to both nights was under $500 to see them in Copenhagen.
Shit.
We were looking at $1,000 up to see them anywhere in the States.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So that was kind of a no-brainer.
Wait, what? So, and what did the plane tickets cost?
Plane tickets were a bit more expensive,
Sure,
but all told, we spent a week in Denmark, saw 2 shows, and we spent less than $5,000.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Yeah, that's actually not bad.
2 tickets, hotel, food, transport within Copenhagen, and saw a whole bunch of other sites, because Copenhagen has this amazing thing where you're there for a visit. You can get a little pass that gives you unlimited public transit.
Nice.
And free entry into 80 plus museums, attractions, etc.
Yeah.
And again,
that sounds awesome.
Ridiculously affordable. So we
Such a dork. I
basically
love
said,
museums.
well, this is a better choice, and we really want to go. And I have a better shot of not being miserable the entire time sitting through the concert, because it's not in the US. And I was able to sit and enjoy an entire concert because there was no wind. And it was lovely. And the music was fantastic. The stage setup was just amazing. The whole thing was such a great show. So highly recommend if you ever get to go see Metallica, definitely try and see them in Copenhagen. And if you ever want a really, really great place to go travel, Copenhagen.
Did you see The Mermaid? I had to ask.
We did.
Yay!
That warms my heart.
Yes, we did see The Mermaid. We saw the backside as we did a canal tour through.
Yeah. What would you say was the other than the concert? What was the highlight of the trip?
The food.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to love a country that takes so much care, consideration, and attention to detail for all of their food, especially their baked goods and their coffee.
Is that where the word Danish comes from?
Yes.
Wonderful.
But no, like
the coffee was good.
And then the coffee was fantastic. Pretty much every place you could get, like, you'll see a lot of comments online as you're looking to like travel to Denmark of food is so expensive. Da, da, da. If you can get a hotel or an Airbnb or something like that that has a kitchenette, there are little tiny corner grocery stores everywhere. You just go in, you pick up the food. I've never had eggs that fresh since I was literally going and picking them out of my aunt's chicken butts, literally, as a kid.
Most people would say coop, but no, you went with chicken butts.
Okay.
I couldn't think of the word.
I had some images.
I also have some images, and
that I can't unsee.
I didn't need that. I didn't need that.
You're welcome. But
I'm gonna need a minute.
Carry on, Les, while John and I recover.
Yep. Take your time. The food is ridiculously fresh. You go to every little corner store has a bakery where they have fresh bread, fresh danishes, fresh dough. Like everything is just so fresh. Yeah, you don't have the, choice of everything that you do here in the States, but the food was amazing, easy to cook up, and we spent less on food than I think we've spent on any other trip that we've taken.
Yeah.
And then I think the other thing that just I adored was the public transit.
Yeah.
It was fast. It was clean. It was on time.
And it got you everywhere you wanted to go.
It got us everywhere we wanted to go. Yeah, it was great. I would hands down go and spend more time in Copenhagen.
Yeah. Well, you've basically sold me. And for everyone else who is super curious about Leslie's trips, check out her new podcast. Travels with Leslie.
I like it.
That's not real. Please don't actually go looking.
If I had actually the time and money to do such things, I would. I do not have the time and money to do such things at this point.
Facts. Yeah. So
go to GoFundMe for Leslie's new travel podcast. We'll set it up.
Love it. But yeah, so that sounds like the trip was just an absolute blast. And then since then, Les has been dealing with just all kinds of, I'm going to say, work drama as they work to move locations and merging and just
other things.
It's been nuts.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because that's exciting for me because I recently learned that with that move, it sounds like Leslie, chose theft.
No. Leslie chose recycling.
As they're downsizing their office and are getting rid of a ton of
it was basically it's been the option of either this is going in the trash or somebody is taking this home.
It's not theft if it's dumpster diving.
I was going to say
then it's pre-dumpster diving
model.
and it's pre-dumpster diving.
I mean, if you're getting it before it goes in the dumpster, if you're getting it before it goes in the dumpster, it's still dumpster diving. You're just planning for it.
Ask your wife; she's a lawyer.
Your planning is better than the average dumpster diver, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Still not that.
So
sorry, John.
No, still not that.
I recommend that.
You do not.
We still need to have T-shirts made up.
Yeah, I know. We do need to get those T-shirts made up.
Well, hold on. Is this like don't do as I say, not as I do?
Isn't that how it always is?
I think the shirt should just say, "I recommend theft."
True though. I think Leslie just would be able to get away with more stuff.
Or maybe we do a jack-o'-lantern where we do a jack-o'-lantern carved. I recommend theft.
I think that's a little bit safer in terms of liability. We're not, but the jack-o'-lantern is. You gotta watch those untrustworthy pumpkins.
Yes, that is accurate. So whoever wants to take on that task to drop a design for a T-shirt, we'll get
Man,
that
that's
out before Halloween. Fat chance, because none of us are that artistic.
I'm trying to picture putting that on a pumpkin. It's a lot of fun.
I'll see what I can do.
It
I've
could
been
be the smile.
practicing my art, so I can see what I can do.
You have, but I'd love to see it in color. And you're like, your black and white pencil drawings have been phenomenal.
Well, I have lots of colored pencil.
Yeah, play with it. We'll see what comes of it.
I mean, I can do it, and we could put it on the T-shirt. They'll just have questions about why the small child that you gave caffeine to, you put their art on a shirt.
I thought that's what you're supposed to do with small child caffeine-driven art.
Yes.
You should never
sorry.
never give them caffeine.
I need to tell a quick story. So every Friday, it is a tradition in our family that we get pizza and do a family movie night. And for family movie night, this is me and my wife's opportunity to show the kids movies that they would not normally watch, but need to see to understand pop culture, right? So
And their parents.
It's too early to show them Godfather, dude.
Accurate.
That's
but we've done
But Dogma's a good one for that.
Not a chance. But we've done the Indiana Jones series, and recently showed them Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yes.
There were moments that my children really enjoyed, but at the end of it, my oldest was like, "What was that?"
So basically,
the reaction I hoped for.
Are they terrified of rabbits now?
As they should be.
Considering that was basically Schaffner's response when I showed it to him for the first time, and he was in high school.
Yeah,
he's basically like, "That it's not done yet." I'm like, "No, it's done." Like, it can't be done. I'm like, "No, it's done."
It's over.
Monty Python crew has never, ever, ever in the history of the flying circus ever known how to end a skit, which is literally where the phrase comes. And now for something completely different.
I'm okay.
I sleep all night. I work all night and I sleep all day.
All right. That was an aside. Anyway, on Friday, for the first time ever, I gave my children Coca-Cola.
Oh dear.
And afterwards, while we were eating dinner, they noticed a couple of their friends from the neighborhood came over. So we want to go play before we do the movie. So that's fine, go play. So they go outside, and at one point I hear one of the neighbor boys come yell into the house, "Miss Ashley," my wife, and she's like, "Yeah, Luca's acting kind of crazy." What do you mean? Ashley was like more than normal?
That's going to be my question. Is, how could you tell the difference? I mean, knowing him, yeah, I absolutely believe there's a difference. But
yeah,
he says he had Coke, so now he's all crazy. And I asked him, "Is it a problem?" He's like, "I think we can handle it." But I go down and check it out anyway. Words. Yeah, famous last words. I go down and check it out, and one of the other boys tells me, "Luca says he's a Coker, and we're trying to fight off the Cokers." And I'm just like, when I sat him down later, I was like, "Luca, please do not ever use the word Cokers again, because I do not want to explain to your teachers later that I am not giving you cocaine."
That's reasonable.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, these children.
The funniest part about that entire discussion, though, is when you do that and it's Sprite or root beer, and you don't realize that there's no caffeine in it. You're just so excited that you got soda. Yeah, that was me in first grade, second grade. Yeah, that was an amusing dinner time.
I'm basically just denying soda exists until I have no other choice.
So how are you managing your Mountain Dew life?
For the most part, I've pretty much stopped drinking soda, except for stomach stuff, like ginger ale or something. But I pretty much stopped. Yeah.
Good. Replacing it with coffee is infinitely healthier.
It is. It is. Switching it. I mean, too much caffeine is bad anyway, but
supplement with water and tea, but
I need to do better about drinking water. I'm doing some flavored water, which is it's a process. It's hard to quit it cold turkey, but
these things, best ever. The fizzy waters,
Oh,
LaCroix. They're fantastic because you get the caffeine or you get the fizziness that you would get from soda. But
I think that's the thing.
that's
You
because
get
for me,
addicted to that.
it's the I want the carbonation
Yeah, I think
more
that's exactly what
than
it is.
kind of anything else.
I've been doing that bubble, whatever Michael Bublé sells.
Bubbly,
Bubbly. That's it.
bubbly.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
that
So-
and LaCroix are my go-tos. And the
Yeah.
other thing that's really great that I really like about them is for the LaCroix on Amazon, you can get a 12-pack for like $4 or $5.
That's the thing. It's a lot cheaper. Soda is expensive. I'm like,
But
certain
LaCroix
point, I'm like,
tastes
I'm
terrible.
basically.
But LaCroix tastes terrible.
I'm not looking at it for the flavor necessarily. I just want the carbonation.
It's the carbonation. It's that fizziness.
Why would
I
you
think that you get addicted
see?
to.
This is just like you guys in coffee. Like, why would you drink something terrible for something for some
Whoa,
other? benefit?
whoa,
It's not
whoa!
actually
How
terrible.
dare you?
It's not actually terrible.
It's amazing.
It's not actually terrible.
Coffee is terrible. LaCroix is terrible.
Dare you?
Yeah, I said it.
No.
We're probably
I-
lost a whole bunch of listeners.
I was gonna say
but
there are 25 people right this second that just turned it off. You know what?
all
I
of
don't blame
my
them.
credibility gone right in that
Wait.
moment.
You had
I
I
credibility.
had no credibility to start with. That's key.
Actually, wait a minute. Okay, when was the last time you actually attempted to drink coffee? Like, gave it an honest chance?
When I was assigned to my second ship, so like I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago now,
What kind of coffee was it?
the swill that they make on board a ship.
Oh,
That's
come
not
on.
coffee.
Come on.
It is more caffeinated than you guys will find anywhere. I promise.
I'm not
the
stating
point.
that. I'm just stating that that is not good coffee.
That's just black sludge.
Yeah, but
come on,
like,
man. We'll get you a good cup.
the grande caramel macchiato 2-pump
Oh.
non-fat bull that my
Well, that's a candy bar in a cup.
yeah
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
That,
No,
like,
no.
that's
You
not
have
coffee
to find
either.
the middle ground.
Just you don't even need something sweet. Just like honestly, high quality coffee. Just that's all you need. You don't even need any caramel or anything else. You just need a good cup of coffee.
No. I'm not. I refuse to accept that.
Next time you're home, that's my challenge. I'm going to do it.
I'll eat your Mountain Dew ice cream before I do that. Your Mountain
You know,
Dew
it
not
really wasn't all that good.
your Mountain Dew not ice cream.
It's 100% ice cream. That's exactly what it is. If I'm being honest, it wasn't. I give it a C. It wasn't that good.
It was a C. You give it a C.
For a
Fair enough.
given value of ice cream.
Now we're getting very technical.
It tastes like vanilla ice cream that if you took like 5 drops of Mountain Dew and put it on.
Right.
It wasn't.
We are going completely off the rails here.
That's
Let's
because it's been far too long since we've done anything.
But
facts.
I think before we do that, Leslie, I think just because I just want Kay to be uncomfortable, if we could work on getting LaCroix to sponsor the podcast.
You know what?
I
I will
think-
take it. Anybody who wants to give us money, I'm
He's
willing
not gonna
to
argue with that.
I have a very low price. Like anybody who wants to give me money to sell their products, I'm probably down.
I know, but if I'm writing the ads, I'm going to completely write a solo ad without me and Leslie.
Which is me.
Just you talking about how much you love the product.
You need to reach out to GTs and see if we can get them to sponsor us.
I thought you had some kombucha related issue.
I did
Yeah.
have some kombucha related issues until
Okay.
my, I don't know, gut biome got healthier, and it has been amazing since then. Also, they have guava. How
What
can
if
you
I-
argue against guava?
What if I told you that I know where I can find a guava coffee?
That sounds
I
terrible.
don't, but I'm sure I could find one.
That sounds terrible.
You're a monster. I was like, if you're going to cut everything unrelated out of the show, it's
That if I were to cut
There will
everything
be no
unrelated
show.
out of the show, there would be no show left. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
John,
I don't know
tell
if I
us
could
what
have
you
fun.
have been doing for the last several months. Well, Les and I have been, trying to survive.
Mostly work, a lot of being beat up by my 3-year-old. I went to Las Vegas on a work trip.
And did
Um,
nothing while you were there.
What do you mean?
Work.
Well, yes, it's a work trip. It's a work trip.
You gotta
You gotta have
learn
fun.
how to take advantage of your work trips better.
So here's the thing. When you think of me, do you think of Vegas party guy?
I mean,
Yes.
obviously,
Yeah, absolutely. that's me in a nutshell. Yeah.
John is the most
Um,
boring person I know. That's
Exactly.
part of why I love him, honestly.
I am not, for our listeners, I am not go crazy gamble guy. I don't really drink a lot. I probably drink like once every 3 months.
Like everything Vegas
once
is
a
known
quarter.
for, John does not do.
Pretty much. Not, strip clubs, casinos, crazy bars, drinking on the. It's just not really my scene. So a lot of the appeal of Las Vegas is kind of lost on me.
I'm very
Now,
disappointed
see-
you did not attempt a oceans situation while you were there.
I tried. I couldn't get enough people. I couldn't get 11 people.
You couldn't get
That's the problem.
you could get 10 other people on board.
So that was the problem. That part bummed me out. So, and like, pursuant to our earlier conversation, one of my favorite parts, the place I found where I was excited, was this nice little cafe with amazing coffee, where you could exactly nice baked goods, good cup of coffee.
The
Like I
listeners
said.
can't tell, but I just face palmed.
Seriously. So we did, the one thing we did do was we stayed at the hotel, which was also a kind of convention center, casino, all this stuff. It was what was it?
It was
The
a brand
Fountain
new
Blue
one,
Hotel.
right?
Yeah,
Was
it
it?
just opened in January. The Fountain Blue. It was very nice. Very,
I
very
bet.
But so we mostly stayed on the grounds. There was one night before we left where our team took us out to a fancy steakhouse as kind of a thank you for making the trip and doing all the work. So that's when we got out. So that was pretty much it.
Fair enough.
But on our way back to the hotel, our driver was basically trying to get us to go to a strip club, and then after we said no to that, recommending like an after hours bar and some other stuff. And I didn't say anything, but I'm just sitting here. It's just like, man, you have no idea of this is not a city built for a person like me.
Fair. But that's okay.
It was still a good time. Had fun. I'd never been to Las Vegas before, so check that off the list.
That was what, your third
I'm
time
lame.
out of the
How
state?
about
That was what, your
What?
third time out of the state? My
that?
graduation,
Fifth or sixth?
your honeymoon, Vegas. Like that's all I'm trying.
We went to New Orleans, and then I went to California before as well.
Okay.
And actually, no, I went to New Mexico for the Honor Balloon things a while back in Angel Fire.
So
I've been out a few
5,
times.
6,
It's
somewhere
like
in there.
6.
Yeah, John does not get out much.
I don't. I'm lame. Let's just say it. I'm lame.
I don't know what happened, but Leslie just randomly fell off the call.
Layla crawled under my desk and broke my internet. So our team mascot.
That's amazing.
I saw that as I'm getting the text. So
Yeah. Leslie just texted us.
I love it. So while we're doing that,
We're gonna pause here for a moment while we wait for Leslie to rejoin us, because I was actually ready to start like talking about what we are here to talk about, like actually get into the topic.
we were almost there.
We were almost there, and that's when Layla decides to drop Leslie off the call.
Just while we're waiting. So here's part of the thing is I've been to Blackhawk a few times. For those not in Colorado, Blackhawk is a place kind of in our mountains with just a ton of casinos.
It's a casino, yeah.
It's a ton of
city full
it's a
of
casino
casinos.
town.
It's one of the
Pretty
few
much.
places in Colorado where gambling like that is legal.
Right.
Oh,
And I remember my first time going, and look, and I'm a terrible gambler. And I'm not even saying like because of skill or anything else. Because the first few times I went to casinos, I would put like $20 down, and if it's gone in 5 minutes, I'm like, oh,
that's it. And you know what? That's honestly how I have always treated gambling. Like, I'm willing to spend $20 on entertainment, and this is the way I'm going to
that's
spend
the
it.
thing.
But that's
think
all
that's
I'm willing to spend. That's it. Once
Yes,
the $20 is gone, I'm done.
That's the thing. Because there were a lot of people that I went with that had the similar approach. Like one of my supervisors was like, you know what? I'm going to throw down like $100, and then when that's gone, I'm done for the trip.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like, I think that's a good plan. Like if you view gambling as and you're investing in entertainment, I think that's fine. You'll be good. If you view it as I'm going to go out there and make some money,
You're
Yeah.
rude.
you might be in some trouble. So I mean, how often it's just like, well, I'm going to keep going until I get back to even. Speaking of famous last words,
In my entire life, I think I'm up like $5 or something.
Okay, better than me.
I'm in the positive. Yeah, I call that a win.
But yeah, well, I am not exactly the target audience for Las Vegas.
For Las Vegas.
Like I said, my favorite part was finding a good coffee place and reading a book.
That needs to go on a shirt. I am not the target audience for Las Vegas.
Well, and obviously, I know Heather, my wife, used to live in Las Vegas. I know there's casinos everywhere. I underestimated how much, like, you walk off the plane, they are everywhere.
There's slot machines there in the terminal.
There were slot machines in the bathroom, like literally for the men's room. You're sitting there, and I looked over. It's just like there's one on the wall.
Absolutely.
Jeez.
I mean, it's you got to have something to do while you're taking a dump. Like,
I mean, I guess. Not trying to, I guess that's the thing. I'm like, I'm not trying to lose money. I know I'm not good at this.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it was fun to travel a little bit, see some different places. You're right. I'm generally pretty lame. I like to read because I remember going to this cool mountain resort with my family a few years back, and this is a place where there's like tons of skiing and snowboarding and all these cool things you can do. And there was this massive fireplace in the lobby, huge rock fireplace with a bunch of comfy sofas and stuff. I'm like, see, that sounds like a good place to have a cup of coffee and read a book.
You're such a nerd.
I know. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. It's who you are. I am too. We're just nerdy about our things, you know?
See, that's where I'm at with it. But it was fun. So I did that. And then a lot of it has been, contending with a 3-year-old who's pretty crazy. I've had some head injuries.
Always. And you don't have like... Never mind.
Go ahead. What?
Nothing.
No, you're good.
I was going to say, you don't have the brain capacity to spare to head injuries.
See, that's the thing. I'm waiting for to go to the doctor and then get like the full body scan or whatever, the full medical. And they'll be like, did you play in the NFL? No. Why? It's like your head.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you've had 6 concussions. Oh, yeah, that checks out.
That checks out. Yeah. They might be undercounting, actually.
I've told you the turtle story, right?
The turtle story?
My wife and I joke about how many times my toddler is concussed. And I don't think she jokes and says it's like 5 or 6. I don't think it's 5 or 6.
Yeah.
There is one though, where I remember playing with him and he has a toy turtle that's on a string, but it's like a hard plastic one. And it's like, it's about size-wise, if you put like both of your hands together lengthwise, it's about like that.
Okay.
So it's big and hard plastic. And he was having fun with it. And I don't remember exactly what led up to it, but I remember him swinging it. And I'm pretty sure it hit me in the head.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember anything until apparently several hours later, I remember coming home and putting groceries away from the store. There's like a good 2-3 hour gap in there that I don't remember. Which means I drove while I don't.
That does sound like you may have been concussed. Like that sounds pretty serious. I remember once when my oldest was probably, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, somewhere in that range, and I'm holding him on one arm, and he's able to hold his head up and everything. And just out of freaking nowhere, and I don't think it was on purpose. He just brought his head back and then head-butted me right in the temple. And I saw stars immediately. Mm-hmm. In fact, it might be the only time in my life when I have been hit hard enough to actually see stars. And all I remember thinking is, I'm holding the baby. I can't drop the baby. So I very carefully lowered myself down to the floor, still seeing stars, just by touch, getting myself down to the floor so that if I drop him, he doesn't fall on the floor. And then I'm like, Ashley, come take the baby.
I remember doing something similar. Ezra hit me and did the headbutt. And same thing, I'm like, I'm going to put you down. And I'm like, I hope he doesn't crawl anywhere because I don't think I can get up right now.
Exactly. Thank God Ashley was home. Les, are you back with us?
I am. How's my audio?
Kind of terrible, but I've heard worse.
I've heard worse. Layla is a company employee. How could she do that?
She has no idea where her body is in space. And my Wi-Fi on my desktop is tied to a USB that sticks out, and she just brushes right by it, lays down on it, and puts it up on a semi-regular basis.
Fair enough. All right. Sorry. My dog's yelling at me. I thought you said something about that your wife was on your desk. Well, then I think you forgot to tell us something. Yes.
My dog.
I-
Dog, not wife.
Mine is yelling at me too. Well, yeah, this episode has gone sideways.
We have just gone all kinds of directions in our conversation so far, and this has been a fairly we've been recording now for
Over an hour.
A while.
over an
A
hour.
while.
Maybe we should actually get into our topic today. But before we do, let's take a moment to hear from our sponsors, and then we will jump in to the rest of our topic.
Hey, what's our topic?
Well, this is
What
a
are we going to
Halloween
learn about
podcast.
today?
This is a Halloween podcast. I'd like to talk about Halloween. And specifically, I really want to talk about Halloween 2024 because, like I mentioned, it is July 27th. Midsummer Scream is happening right now. Today is actually the last day of Midsummer Scream. Go check out our Instagram at Haunting University because I've been seeing all kinds of phenomenal stuff coming out of Midsummer Scream, and I'm so sad that we're not there. And I'm just I'm reposting it because it's freaking amazing. But anyway, we're basically 12 weeks away from Halloween. And as I mentioned, my house is in a state of construction. And so all of my household goods that we shipped from California, we just have in storage because there's no place for it in our construction zone. And that means most of my tools are in storage. All of my Halloween decorations are in storage. So at this point, we don't know when construction is going to be done. So I'm not confident when we're going to get our household goods. And I'm freaking out just a little bit. So I want to talk about what we're going to do for Halloween this year.
Light things on fire.
There might be some of that.
Order a pizza?
There will definitely be some of that.
Pizza shape.
So, I suspect the way things are going right now that I'm probably going to get my household goods late September kind of time frame. That's kind of how things are working out right now. So that leaves about a month to put something together, which is not a lot of time.
No indeed.
We
Unless
have a
you're
couple
us.
we have a couple advantages though. This is a place that we have already haunted before. There is actually a following for the haunt here, so much so that I posted a picture of me unloading my trailer that has most of the haunt stuff. It has all of the walls that we saved from the last time we built. And I posted that picture to the Sanguine Creek Estates Facebook page, and a fan tagged 9 of her friends to say, "Look, they're doing it again." And that warmed my heart.
Wow.
I
That's awesome.
love that. I'm so excited that someone is so excited for us. And I
Speaking-
really don't want to disappoint her. This one
Let's-
freaking person, I don't want to disappoint her.
Hey, speaking of that, didn't we just hit a milestone on YouTube?
We did just hit a milestone on YouTube. In fact, we now have 500 subscribers to our YouTube page. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube page, please go subscribe right now because that is where we post a ton of video. Every video of our builds that I create ends up on there. There are how-tos, there are interviews with cool vendors. I think our YouTube page is kind of cool. Go check it out because I think you will find resources to help you with your own haunting, and subscribe because then you'll be notified when we post new stuff. There is going to be a huge influx of new stuff next weekend, August 4th, because the Eastern Pennsylvania Halloween flea market is happening in Leesport, Pennsylvania. If you are in the area, go to the Leesport flea market on August 4th, next Sunday, because anyone who is trying, it is just going to be full of vendors selling Halloween stuff. I am going to be there. I managed to snag a booth, and we'll be talking about the podcast and meeting people and maybe doing some recordings. I don't know what I'm going to do exactly yet because I don't have all of my equipment. But
Take your shirt off.
no one wants to see that.
Is that what's happening?
Sean, you couldn't even see the video, could you?
You're going to disappoint our listeners.
Yeah, I'm okay with that one. But anyway, Leesport, Pennsylvania, August 4th at the Leesport Flea Market. The Eastern Pennsylvania Halloween flea market will be happening. I will be there. Come see me. I'm super excited to meet whoever can make it out and hopefully pick up some cool Halloween stuff while I'm there. All of that aside, we need to figure out what we are going to be doing this Halloween. And fortunately, I still have the crypt, I think, from our previous Sanguine Creek Estates. I got rid of the archway from Sanguine Creek Estates because it was starting to fall apart anyway, and I wanted to rebuild. So I'm going to have to do some rebuilding. So there's that. But like we're in an okay spot, sort of. We have the building blocks of what could be awesome.
But Kate, if like so at the Halloween flea market, let me ask you this: since we've just hit 500 subscribers, if we got to 1,000, I know that's a lot. Let's say if we got to 1,000 after the flea market, would you be willing to post some of the Halloween prep without your shirt off?
Willing to post some of the what now?
The Halloween preparations and whatnot that you're going to do without your shirt. This very similar to the fake doctors. You're really willing to do that.
If we get to 1,000 subscribers after the Halloween flea market, I will post things shirtless.
I am going to spend the rest of the day creating fake YouTube accounts. This is going to take a lot.
I'm okay. You know what? I'm okay with that. First of all, carry on. Please continue. That being said, I'm a little bit concerned about this plan because if I start posting things shirtless, that will drive subscribers away.
Honestly, I was obviously more concerned because I know you do some work, if you use soldering irons and things like that. So this could be dangerous.
That could potentially be dangerous. Fortunately, I don't have a soldering iron. It's in storage right now.
Well, we both know, let's be honest, we both know I think that's a good plan, but I would get to about 35 of those fake YouTube accounts and be like, this is worth it.
Solid. Yeah. So here's kind of what I'm picturing right now. We already have some of the stuff in place that we could do our ghost stories again.
Yes, new ghost stories. I can make new ghost stories.
I think doing more ghost stories would be I think this is a great opportunity to expand our ghost stories. For those who have not been longtime listeners, we have been trying to put together the haunted house that will ultimately become the basis for our haunted house when we finally turn this pro. And we've created a storyline that involves this malevolent spirit that has been inhabiting the area of Sanguine Creek Estates for hundreds of years. And over the course of those hundreds of years, that malevolent spirit has infected various people, always people who are overcome by greed and excess. And so the spirit basically turns them into a Wendigo is kind of the backstory here. And we told that backstory our first year in 2020 during the pandemic when we did not feel comfortable actually opening a full haunt through a multimedia show that we had set up in the yard. And what we did was we built a crypt and projected ghosts into the opening of that crypt. And the ghosts told the story of how they lived and died in the area that ultimately became Sanguine Creek Estates and how that malevolent spirit affected them. That first year we had 4 stories, and it ranged from like early American settlers to there was a Revolutionary War. There was we
did basically Roanoke era colony. We did Civil War. We did 18th or 19th century asylum. And then we did, who's my other guy? Because there's the Revolutionary War guy. The 2 girls were the
Civil War.
Pre-colonial. Was it Civil War?
I think it was Civil War because he was on a prison ship.
No, that was the Revolutionary War.
You're right. That was the Revolutionary War. Anyway, we did
smallpox. It was a smallpox hospital.
That's right.
Or tuberculosis or TB. Smallpox or TB.
Right. I think it was TB. Smallpox is one we're looking at for later. But anyway, we did these initial 4 ghost stories, and I think it kind of worked. People came, they watched the stories, they donated food for the local food bank, And even though there wasn't really anything for people to walk through, they still got out of their cars. They were taking pictures with the graveyard and the crypt, and it was fairly successful considering we couldn't do a full walk. And I loved it. And I think this is a great opportunity to expand on that success while setting us up for the hunt we're going to build next year.
Kind of treat it as a, for lack of a better word, reintroduction.
Kind of a reintroduction. And there's a piece of me that's like, I have all of the walls that we saved from Sanguine. We could build something inside my completely empty garage right now.
My gosh, your garage is empty. Can I get a picture of that?
It's like, that's impossible.
Because like I mentioned, the house is under construction. All of the new appliances are being staged in the garage right now, but they're going to move up into the new kitchen once that we get to that point. So it's not completely.
Leslie, are you skeptical that Kay can keep the garage fully empty until that point?
Oh, hell no.
Not a chance in hell. But
Okay, because I was like, I don't know.
but like when all of my household goods arrive, the stuff that would normally go into the garage, I put into the trailer. That will be empty because all of the building material from the haunt will be in the garage. So like, I might be able to make that work. So we could theoretically do a micro haunt in the garage, which would be easier than doing, setting up the whole thing like we did before, but still give us something to have people walk through. And in preparation for this episode, I went back and listened to episode 13 when we were first designing the layout for what would become Sanguine Creek Estates. And there were some ideas there that we just were not able to capitalize on because we ran out of time in 2021 when we were doing the haunt last. And I would love to bring some of those ideas to life if I could pull it off.
I don't see why not.
Like, we had a fairly lengthy discussion. And if anyone wants to listen to this, go back, check out episode 13, where we're our first layout brainstorming session. But we spent a fair amount of time talking about the basement of the asylum. People would walk through the crematorium or the morgue and then the crematorium and then have to escape from the basement. They find where the doctor has been keeping all of his failed experiments in this like prison section. And like, I would love to build that section along with the escape route to get out. And like, we put that together this year, and then we can add that to the haunt next year, and we'll have more for next year.
I like that.
So I kind of where I want to go for this year. We expand on our backstory by adding more ghost tour crypt, and we build a micro haunt that further elaborates on our storyline that we could very easily incorporate into the asylum next year.
Well, I think there's a lot of stuff you could do with that, and options and things like that, where you can kind of go any direction. Or it's helpful as to the creative process. So I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of where our next several episodes are going to take us. I mentioned this episode should be coming out on August 1st. And our intent is to put out an episode every 2 weeks from now until Halloween. So definitely come back and make sure you are subscribed to the Haunted You podcast on whatever app you like to get your podcasts on, because the next 3 episodes are going to be designing this haunt and building this haunt all in 12 weeks.
You sound like
It's not
it
like
just
we
sort of
try-
hit you as you were saying it.
It's not like we ever try and do anything over the top, ridiculous, and completely absurd. It's not like that at all.
Not at all. In fact, like thinking back on our history, just real quickly, we got permission to start the first haunted ship in August, started the planning and executed, and the second haunted ship and zombie haunts on my base also in August. So like, we started in August a lot. It's, I guess, the point I'm trying to make here. And it usually comes together, maybe not quite as we intended, but well enough, right?
We make it work.
We make it
Yeah,
work.
we could do that.
You're good at making it work. And I think that is exactly what is going to happen here. We're
Well,
going
and that's a testament to just how we build our haunts, how we, set up the planning. The whole process is tied into, hey, life gets in the way. It's just reality.
Yeah.
And so here's how we can help you manage life getting in the way, for lack of a better word.
Exactly. So coming up, here's what we're going to be talking about. August 15th, we're going to be talking about building a business plan. And this is something that I have been wanting to do for some time, but we are finally in a position where it makes sense to do it and we need it. And I'll talk more about that in that episode. But we will be building a business plan and we will be talking through the process of building a business plan. And hopefully all of you can take some good takeaways from how we do that for yourselves. And then we'll be diving into micro haunts. So if you want to go back to episode 10 is my favorite episode of anything.
The greatest hits.
All about micro haunts. Take a quick listen to the micro haunts episode 10, and it will well prepare you for the discussions we'll be having on September 1st, September 15th, and October 1st as we put together this haunt.
I mean, I don't know if there's anything that can prepare you for a metaphorical weenie dragging people off. I don't think you can prepare.
Don't ruin it, John. Let people listen to it.
I'm just saying. See, there's your tease.
Long time listeners will know exactly what he's talking about. And then October 15th, we're going to talk about just kind of the fun of Halloween. And then on Halloween itself, we will be releasing the third annual Fireside Stories, just like we have for the last two Halloweens, where we get to share some of our favorite spooky stories with you as we do dramatic reads of those spooky stories.
I'll try and vet my story a little bit more explicitly rather than, I guess that's what it's all about. Whoops.
I liked your laugh. I go back and listen to it, and it still gives me chills.
It's such a great story. I'll probably have to do some other stuff for my delusion or personally.
My favorite, though, that you did was Telltale Heart. Like,
well, I'll see if
I'll
see how long it'll take me to do something like Pit and the Pendulum or some of his other short stories. The big thing is just how much time monopolization do I need to do for everybody?
or anything, but the audio that went along with Telltale Heart, where we had the thumping of the heart.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think it turned out freaking amazing. I go back and listen to that one even today and absolutely adore it. It turned out outstanding. It leaves me with chills every time.
Well, I will see what I can do to continue to amaze, amuse, and terrify.
Oh, yeah. So that is what the Haunting You podcast looked like from now until Halloween. We are super excited to be back and diving into just what we love again. I don't know about you guys. I have been going through withdrawal, not being able to do this over the last several months.
It's true.
And I'm so ready to get back to work and do this again. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Drink.
So, John, if people are new here, we have picked up a whole bunch of new listeners at the Eastern Pennsylvania Halloween.
Well, you turned a bunch of them off trashing coffee, so I don't know how many are still on board here.
See how many stuck around. But for all of
luckily, 2 out of 3 of us still love coffee.
Don't listen to Kay. You can just mute that. If Kay starts talking about coffee, just put it on mute for five minutes or hit the little fast forward button.
Exactly. That's what the fast forward button is for. But John, for all of our new listeners, where should they go to learn more about the Haunting You podcast?
You can find us on Instagram at Haunting University. What's the name of our YouTube channel? Just same at Haunting University? Haunting You?
Just Haunting You, at Haunting You on YouTube. YouTube.com.
Instagram will let us change that. Facebook.com/Haunting You. You can find us anywhere you find your podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible. You can find us on there. If you want to help us out, if you like the content, go ahead and leave a review or a rating. That definitely helps us out. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. Obviously, Case Poppy Cakes. You can put that in there. We're sorry about that.
You can totally put 1 star.
We'll work on that to be better. Maybe we can also put that in there. If we get X amount of YouTube subscribers, hey, we'll drink 1 cup of coffee. I don't know.
Something like that. And definitely go check out our website at huntingyou.com, just the letter U. And you can find absolutely everything that we, including a breakdown of the Hunting You method, along with links to all the podcast episodes where we talk about the different steps of the method. You'll find our sponsorships there, which are cool vendors who have agreed to partner with us and offer discounts on what they do just for our listeners. Go check out the sponsorship page for that. Okay. I think that, we didn't get much into Halloween today, but I think we kind of have a plan for where we want to go forward, and we'll start executing on that. We'll blah, 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 and we can start executing on that here over the next few months. I hope all of you come along on that journey, and we cannot wait to see what you all are putting together for your own.
Okay. Hold on.
Do you have the hiccups, John?
I thought it was through yelling at the vacuum.
I can't hear her. For what that's worth.
Oh.
Let's see that put you on mute.
Zoom is also like blocking out background noise, so much so that it has bitten me in the ass while I'm editing in the past.
Well, and it doesn't like my high pitch.
That is also sometimes Leslie's. Bye, everybody.
It doesn't like that very much.
And I started doing something new with the editing, because Podbean has a AI based editor that cuts out a lot of the and
nice,
that kind of thing, which has drastically sped up my editing process. But it also cuts out annoying things like me bleeping myself.
So wait, you don't have to bleep yourself anymore?
No. Because it will me saying things like, but it will get rid of the that I put over them.
So you're still saying the word.
I'm not. It's completely cutting it out so that the sentence now sounds disjointed, and that's because it's actually missing a word.
So it's completely removing the word from the sentence.
It's just removing the space where the beep is and cramming the rest of the sentence together.
Well, I think we need to get you to swear even more though. That's amazing.
Actually, I'm really curious to see what it does.
How it does that?
With multiple beeps. This will be fast. Let's see what happens. I'm going to just leave that alone. We'll see what happens. Anything else before we wrap it up here, guys?
We hope you've managed to make it through our we haven't done this in too long shenanigans. And for those of you who are really confused, we generally are slightly more on topic than this. Not always, but mostly.
Well, somewhat.
Okay. 60% of the time.
60% of the time, I would say that's accurate, yes. I do have one quick announcement, because I'm not sure we ever actually said it on any of our previous episodes. We have a new sponsor that I am super excited about. It is VFX. VFX is my favorite company that makes haunted house products.
Your house haunted? You need to know how to get those ghostly stains out of the floors. Well, VFX has a solution for you.
See, I thought you were going straight to, do you love haunted houses? VFX will kill someone and haunt your home for you.
No comment. VFX makes attack line puppets, the puppets that wrap themselves around you and you puppeteer with one arm, zombies and clowns and vampires and ghosts, and they are freaking amazing. They're my favorite prop that I own. I own 2 of them and have so much fun with them, just wandering around the city with them. They are the best. They also make these boxes that looks like you're just carrying around a box. It pops open and a banshee head comes out or a clown head comes out, and it's on a scissor mechanism and attacks you. And they have crate creatures, which are cute little baby creatures, like a pig and a chick. I don't think it was a chicken. Yeah, but there was the pig and baby bat thing, a little demon thing. They are adorable. They are spooky. They're so much fun. And VFX is just such a cool company. Patrick, the owner, Doug, his employee, great people that I adore seeing every time I go to a convention. They are phenomenal people to work with, and I'm so excited that they just agreed to partner with us. So go check out VFX at vfx.com and see all of their products. Although it's probably too late to get anything for this year, you can certainly get an order in for next year.
Okay, what kind of bat? You said a bat thing. What kind of bat are we talking about?
Vampire bat.
You seen true bats? They're adorable.
They are adorable. But yeah, so there will be a link to VFX in the show notes if you want to check them out. Highly recommend. They are my favorite company. They have the coolest stuff ever. Oh, bungee heads. They have freaking bungee heads.
Oh.
Literally a head on a bungee cord. You wear the bungee cord around your wrist so you can throw the head at people and it snaps back without actually hitting them. It's wonderful. I love it.
Fast forwarding to a headline: man arrested for throwing head at civilian. So yes, if you see a man doing that in Maryland, it's a good chance it's K. You should
People,
say hi.
this guy.
If it's not K, you should probably remove
Run
him from the situation.
Also accurate. Anyway, so yeah, that was the only announcement I wanted to definitely get out there. Let's check out VFX.
Yay!
Okay, I think we called this one an episode, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks with how we're going to be with developing a business plan. So we hope to see you there. Les, take us out.
Sorry. It's been a day. From all of us here at Haunting You, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
We are incredibly grateful to all the sponsors who make this show possible, especially our premium sponsors, the Chamber of Haunters, Fear Expo, and VFX. You can learn more about our premium sponsors by checking out their websites, chamberofhaunters.com, fearexpolive.com, and vfxcreates.com. Check out our website, Haunting You, for more information on everything that we do. Haunting You is a production of the Rocky Mountain Home Haunters, LLC. All audio clips and sound effects are used under a Creative Commons Attribution or Public Domain license from Purple Planet Music at purple-planet.com or the Sound Bible at soundbible.com. Please see the show notes for more information on all the clips used in this episode.
It's always fun when you just kind of look over at a part of your body and you're just like, oh, hey, blood.